You got some feedback on your end, I think, Mark. Even a bit of a noise whenever I say anything, like a buzzing from your end.
Yeah, it's not coming from me. So
anyway, what's everyone been up to this week other than feeling ill?
How's Lisa, Gray?
Today.
She's not too bad.
Good.
I said they're asking about you.
Yeah, well.
Because she's got her headphones on. She's watching Big Brother or something. Her headphones on, but she's not too bad. She's been a bit out of breath this week, and yeah, she's got an operation next week. So yeah, it'll be 5 weeks if she can't do
Can
anything.
you hear him at all? I can hear him kind of mumbling.
Yeah, I can hear him, Carl. Just he says Lisa's not too bad. She's going for an operation next week.
Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now? No, you can't hear me any better with this.
I can hear you, but you're very faint. Kyle can't hear you.
You're just faint. I got congested ears, so I'm already starting off on a bad leg with it.
Testing. Oh well.
But yeah, hopefully she does well with that.
How much time?
Do what?
I was wondering how much longer Mark's got at work.
So my last official day is 30th of November, but I've agreed to go back for 2 more weeks after my holiday, which was in Egypt. So we're now thinking about having to cancel Egypt because of the situation in Israel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, don't go to Egypt.
Thanks,
don't go to Egypt. Don't go to Egypt. Don't go to Tunisia. I'm trying to think of a good comparable, but
yeah. Problem is, we've paid about $5,000 for the holiday, and if we cancel,
here's the loaded question: are you going to southern Egypt or right up north?
No, we're in the bits of Egypt that currently are okay. So Cairo down to Aswan. So it's not in the bit that they cut.
Well,
the UK
if you're in Cairo, you're okay.
Yeah.
If you're in Cairo, you're okay. Unless all that war breaks out there.
Oh yeah, well, exactly.
You've been to Cairo before, though, haven't you?
No, I've never been to Egypt before. No, it's one of the countries I've never been to.
All right. Can I give
so
you?
We're going to Cairo, and then we're taking a cruise down the Nile, which is currently okay, according to the British government. They haven't.
Well, yeah, that should be fine. You're nowhere near the Gaza Gate.
No.
Do you want any spoilers or no?
What, for Egypt?
For Cairo, especially.
Oh, you can give me some spoilers, yeah.
Okay.
Pharaoh did it.
You've been to Paris, right?
I've been to Paris, yeah.
All right. So you had this thing in your mind, and then you got to Paris, and it stunk like a big city. And when you got away from the nice little shops, it was a shithole.
Yeah.
So there's a little bring down there. When you get to Cairo, it's utterly majestic. It is majestic. If you sit outside the pyramids and look back at them, it is majestic. If you turn around and look the other way, there's a slum right there. Where you get to look at the pyramids from is a trash heap. It's utter garbage. It's literal garbage is blowing through the air.
Lovely.
And it stinks. But again, it's big city stink. You know, you can't get away from the big city stink. But people don't think about that when they go to these places. They think, oh, this is majestic, and it's like, No, it's a big city stink, and it's a stink.
Yeah, I mean, Cairo is something like the 5th largest city in the world.
Yeah,
Big.
there's a stink, and
That's big.
and you can be looking one direction and see the most beautiful thing in the world, and look 45 degrees either way, and there's shit dripping off the walls. Literally, shit dripping off the walls. So it's kind of a smack in the face, because again, you're getting hit with majestic, and then you get surrounded by untouchables and people that want to charge you $500 to ride a camel, and they'll tell you that you can ride to the pyramids. You can't ride to the pyramids. You can't get within an arm's reach of the pyramids.
No,
But
I
tell
won't be
you
climbing
can,
on any camels.
but you can't. And then the other thing you got to keep in mind, you got to be sneaky as fuck if you want to take any dirt from there. It's illegal to take dirt from that area
Really?
around the
Okay, well, I don't
pyramids.
particularly want to take any dirt. Wasn't
But
high
if
on
you
my
wanted
list.
some historically significant dirt, and then again,
Why
the
would you
trip
want to
down
take
the Nile, again, utter beauty. And then you'll see people bathing in the froth of wash, and it's the awesome, shitty, awesome, shitty, awesome, shitty,
Yeah.
and you just don't expect it. But
district, Mark? Save yourself some money.
Yeah. So are we expecting Bill to come in? I just logged in because I thought Bill was going to be in the secret comic shop.
he's on his way there.
Okay.
Who knows?
He's on his way there now. He kind of wanted to start later, but I figure we go ahead and start. He's gonna show up there and he's gonna show some stuff off. So we're just killing time till he gets here.
Fair enough.
You want to hear my favorite trip to Cairo story of mine?
Was this when you were in the military?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really stupid and it's really short. You know what a football is?
A football, yes, I know what a football
Do
is.
you know what a football is in military parlance?
No.
Is it like someone you're guarding?
Basically, I mean, the nuclear football is what the guard next to the president carries, where it's handcuffed to their wrist and there's an attaché case.
All right.
They carry the It's called the nuclear football with the president.
Yeah.
But significant things that needed to get moved around the world. And this is in the days of early fax and things like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't just throw things in the mail. You just can't throw shit in the mail. So I caught a detail while I was in the Middle East where I had to fly to Ankara, Turkey, pick up a football, fly it to Cairo, Egypt, deliver it, have it taken off of me, and then get back on a plane and fly back to Ankara, then be hauled back to my unit. Basically, a 36-hour get set up, get lined up, get it handcuffed to you, get assigned a pistol, put the duty belt on them in full uniform, sitting on an airplane in the back by myself. Nobody can mess with anything. I'm carrying a diplomatic pass or a diplomatic parcel, basically. What I had was a cheap Samsonite. I had a cheap Samsonite briefcase.
Yeah.
That was handcuffed to me.
Okay.
So I had to carry this. I went to the embassy in Ankara, got taken to the plane, put on the plane. I got escorted on the plane by armed guards. I got met in Cairo by 2 armed Marines, taken off, took it to the embassy in Cairo.
Yeah.
Had to stand there while they took it off my arm.
Yeah.
And had to stand and wait for confirmation. And basically watch this because I didn't see what it was. But the long and short of it, or I wasn't supposed to see what it was. The long and short of it is I did that for 3 pieces of paper. I saw him fan out like 3 pieces of paper. That could have been 4, could have been 5, but I only saw like 3 pieces. So the government paid for an armed escort for 3 pieces of paper.
Okay.
Ankara, Turkey to Cairo, Egypt. I looked
Well,
around Cairo. They put me back on a plane.
it was probably a secure method of sending a message.
It was something important, but I
Yeah.
had the proper clearances and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, you never volunteer in the Marines. They find out who's qualified for it, and they pick you, and that makes you the volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're the biggest peon. You're gonna get shot at here, but you have this clearance. You're in this zone. You're gonna be able to do this. You have this much time to do this, this, and this. So basically, they sent me from Ankara to Cairo and back to Ankara for 3 fucking pieces of paper.
Yeah, well,
But
there you go, Kyle. You're a sort of fax machine.
one of the dumbest things basically that's all it was. I was an armed fax machine. It was so stupid. But they call those footballs. When people say footballs, most people immediately go to the heavily secured nuclear football. But you'll see those guys with footballs even still to this day because it's 1,000% secure. It's not going through other people's hands. It's not being
Yeah, and I imagine it
transmitted.
still occurs now because there's no digital record, there's no phone record,
And I'm pretty sure they were burnt after reading
Yeah.
pages that they just got burnt. But I went from Ankara to Cairo for 3 pieces of paper.
Well, there you go.
So they weren't a map. I knew that much. They weren't a map. They could have been diagrams, but they weren't a map.
Yeah.
But again, I was kind of looking out of my periphery and trying like hell not to look. But it's like I just risked my life in this crazy situation for 3 pieces of fucking paper. And that's also the only time in a 2-year time span that I actually traveled in uniform.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the troop movements, we traveled in uniform, but individual travel, anytime we traveled individually from 1990 to 1992, we had to be as incognito as possible. It was don't shave, it was don't look American, it was affect the Canadian accent, whatever. Because we were targets back then, but I was target practice for 3 pieces of paper. And was stunned by how bad Cairo smelled. That just kind of blew me away. You expect that in New York and things like that, but I was a little surprised that the Thames kind of smelled like shit river occasionally. But why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't it smell like the Hudson or whatever? They dump shit out there. Literally, they dump shit into it.
I'm sure they do.
But yeah, them bigger cities. And you'll have moments where it won't stink, but not while you're in town. Not while you're around millions of people and
No, exactly.
a lot of people are living destitute. You just can't shake the third world smell.
No.
It's there.
Yeah, no. Well, I got it in Delhi and Calcutta.
Yeah.
Same in
Beautiful
Bournemouth.
place, awful smell.
Same in Bournemouth, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, that was similar to Bournemouth, really.
There you go. But
not quite the same.
Paris disappointed me because it smelled like Pittsburgh, like a steel mill. Just
oh right, where was that?
Metal stunk, just and shit.
I've
And
been to Paris. I can't say I
population,
mentioned I noticed a particular smell.
Now you get 20 miles outside of Paris, that's some of the most beautiful country in the world. But yeah. Can you tell my least favorite thing in world travel was third world stench?
Well, yeah, it's not very pleasant, is it?
And it's heartbreaking because we shouldn't have it. We should help people better, but that whole area is still full of untouchables. Hell, India's 70% untouchable.
Yeah, I think that's changing a bit with the modern generation, but
A little bit, but not enough.
India's now overtaken China, hasn't it, as the most populous nation?
I mean, you get 1.5 billion, 2 billion people in sweltering heat. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can play cricket, so that's all right.
Yeah. Well, and Tendulkar was probably the greatest cricket player that ever lived.
He was very good.
Very good. Shut up. Tell me 3 people better than Sasha Tendulkar. Seriously, in the history of the game, I mean, you got Cummings 100 years ago. You got Tendulkar.
Bradman.
Yeah,
Bradman was one of the
they've all
greatest
got
of all
to live
time.
up to Jeffrey Boycott.
Yeah.
I mean, there just aren't many better than him. Hey, my brain's working today. I remember Sasha Tendulkar.
Yeah, well, you don't get any rewards for remembering great Indian cricketers. You need to remember great British cricketers.
Well, see, but number 1's Australian and number 2's an Indian. So.
Oh dear, oh dear. You're
And
not
the
going to claim
record books,
Bradman as number
the
1,
record
are you?
books prove that out. So. That's what I need to do. I need to go up there and get.
I'm not listening to American talking about who the best cricketers are.
Should I go up and get my cricket cards or get my 1902?
Have you ever been to a cricket match, Kyle?
No.
No. There we go.
No.
Case rested.
No.
The Lord.
Never had that much time. Wanted to. Never had that much time.
Well, if you ever make it to the UK, Kyle, I'll take you to a cricket match at Lord's.
Yeah. Desperately want to, but there's too much time involved.
Did you know the first international cricket match?
What is that echo?
That's Mark. You know, the first international cricket match was between the USA and Canada. That was the first ever international cricket match.
Really?
Apparently so, yeah.
Must have been fun. They probably played it with baseball bats.
That's a fact I've heard somewhere anyway.
Why is this sound me? All I've done is got my phone on.
I don't know. It feels like when I talk, I feel like it's a buzzing from your end.
I don't think I think it's you. I'm going to switch my microphone off and see.
No, I'll do it individually here. So I'll turn Mark off for a minute while I talk. Testing. I can't hear any buzzing noise. Testing,
we can.
Can you? Testing.
No. When you shut him off, it went away.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're getting.
You're just getting a fuzzy echo there.
Yeah, something like that.
It's almost like
the speakers
quarter-second feedback.
Yeah.
I wonder if I've got something else open. Hang on, guys.
I think the speaker's probably picking up the microphone or something like that.
Well, he's testing that. I'm going to go up and get my cricket stuff just because.
Okay.
It shouldn't take too much. It takes a lot of effort for me to go upstairs, but it's worth it. And we'll talk cricket.
If your holiday, if the government says for people not to go to that area, will you still lose your money?
No. So I think if the government say you can't go, then they give you a refund.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the bits we're going to are open, so I think we'll still go at this stage because I'm not going to lose 60% of my money.
Yeah, unless something changes. Yeah.
So if it changes and all civil, war breaks out in the Middle East, and they say nobody should travel to Egypt, it'll be okay because they'll have to refund us. But
Yeah.
what we're going to look at this weekend is whether we can switch to another trip and not lose the money.
Ah, right, yeah. Oh well. Been any what do you call it? Any bidding on any auctions lately?
Sorry?
Had any tasty auctions bidding lately?
Yeah. I've shown some of my auction wins, my latest auction wins on my, some of the first Clayface 2.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, I haven't had any since then. Did get. So Kal-El, I was trying to do a deal with Kal-El, and he showed me some stuff. And the first thing one of the things he showed me was I think it was a Danish Superman number 20 or something, Strapo Manan. And he said, "Oh, this is extremely rare." And I said, "Right." So I went onto eBay and I found one, which was a lower number than his, and graded, and the highest graded copy. It was about 200 quid. And Carl said, "Well, I'd have charged you 300 minimum." I said, "Well, I'm going to buy this one then." So I've got that coming, and then Kyle was trying to flog me his first appearance of the Brownies. Yeah. And he said, "Oh, this is £1,000 book." And then I found one on eBay for 20 quid.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Bill.
For 20 quid, did you say?
Hey, I raised my Talky to you.
Oh, thank you.
So here I am. I'm in the secret comic book store.
Ooh.
Which is Nelco Comics, by the way. But it also, I've always called it, everyone I know thinks of it as a secret. Look at this stuff.
Nice wall.
Here's Phil. Say hi, Phil Nelson.
What's up,
Phil Nelson,
hooligans?
owner and proprietor and general nuisance.
He just wants the whole number 3. That's all he wants. Whole number 3.
That's all I can maybe afford. Yeah. Oh, show them the FF1.
It's not here. I think.
He took it back to his house. So we can't.
I think I saw that before, Bill. I think I saw it the last time you were there.
No, I've never broadcast from here. I have shown you the pictures.
That's right.
But we've never had it live, which is a big deal. As far as do you have any Pence copies of anything? Like your Fantastic Four?
Not
okay. No Pence copies to show, but
that's because they're very rare.
Spider-Man #1.
This is the Golden Records edition.
This is the Golden Records edition that Phil bought at the Dale Aikman show a few shows ago.
Oh, that's nice.
Great? I mean, it looks just like the original. No ads.
Except it had a record in it.
Yeah.
And it was thicker.
And with the record, it's probably worth 3 times as much.
Oh.
But it's
Bill,
actually a very nice version. Yes.
I've always wondered, when they slab those record versions, do they put the record in the slab?
If they would they ever slab it with the record?
They won't slab it with the record. You will not find one slabbed with the record.
Okay.
So Phil has spoken. Now let's see what else we can find here real quick. So there's a Spider-Man #1, Spider-Woman #1 rather. There's
the graded stuff is not as good. Here's something I really like. I'm a nerd for golden and silver, but this is a very cool assortment of adventures into the unknown. And I just love these old covers.
Oh, they're fantastic. Yeah, I agree.
Amazing art. Where else are you going to see a merman stabbing a shark, man? You don't see that every day. It's very rare to find a merman stabbing a shark.
You rarely see that as a motif in comics. But of course, if you go far enough into the unknown issues, you'll get to pre-code horror, and that's when they go up astronomically. Let's see what Phil has here.
Because I hear you guys are say the greatest comic book of all time, Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
I love 2000 AD, but this is what we got in America. That's the best we can do.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Ryan Boland is my hero.
Yeah, I love Brian
Oh,
Boland.
we talk about Boland often on the show.
Yeah.
And look what's in this display case. I mean, what a great variety. So Phil has owned comic book stores since he was 16. Believe it or not. Oh, now look at this one. It's got a little corner off. That's a super important Fantastic Four introduction of the Inhumans. Now look at the rest of his displays. He has the rocket tubes from Micronauts. He has a battle crew. I mean, look, this guy has some great stuff here.
But only here when you see Barbie at the helm of the Enterprise.
Okay,
So, Bill,
a giant Barbie at the helm of the Enterprise.
Oh, like it.
And Captain Kirk with the cowboy hat.
Bill,
so it's Texas enough for everybody. And then these are some more of his collectibles that he has up here. And just great stuff, right? I just love this stuff. But
has he got any of those wrestling things you like?
What's that?
Has he got any of those wrestling things that you like?
Well, I'm not.
Wrestling.
I own wrestling stuff, but I own it because it came to me. I am a relatively big wrestling fan, and got my video chops on assistant directing a lot of Texas wrestling. So yes, I do like it, but it's not the crux of my collecting. Now look at this. He's got a beautiful Hulk number 6, Hulk number 5. And Hulk number 4, as well as that number 3 we looked at. And then the Marvel family, he's even got Triangle Man.
They might be Giants lovers.
Yes, I was going to say Triangle Man. So, guys, I'm going to sign off so I can do the show with these guys. Oh, wait a second.
I have to show you guys one more thing. This is the comic book that got me hooked. Flaming Carrot. Does anybody know Flaming Carrot? Number 1.
Good choice.
Flaming Carrot.
Of course, we're all of that age. So, well, guys, I'm doing Relatively Famous because I'm connected in the sense that my cousin is Lyle Lovett, and so that's why I'm doing an episode with them. I want to show you. This is where I'm going to do the podcast Phil and I are going to do soon. And this is right here in his podcast central. And say hi to everybody, buddy.
I'm Chip White.
Chip White, everybody. Harry White's brother. Vanna. I'm sorry, Vanna White's brother.
Oh, right. So
the comics. I was joking because we're Comic Central. Yeah, I'm sorry. So he looks just like Vanna, doesn't he? I'm just saying. You know? So you never know what you're going to get when on this show, folks. So, guys, have a great week. Mark, great seeing you. Kyle.
Good to see you, Bill.
Oh, there's Kyle. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Gray. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
What's going on?
You just missed Bill.
Yeah, he came, he saw, and you come back and he went.
Why did he leave?
I don't know. He's doing a podcast or something.
Oh, I thought he was going to partake with us.
He did for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Did you actually go and play a game of cricket, or did you go to find some cricket-related stuff?
Yeah, you were sorry, I'm moving super slow. I'm moving really, really slow today.
Yeah.
I don't have a cricket bat, but I have the next best thing.
Oh, that's all right.
That's a spanking paddle. That's not a cricket
bat. Yeah, spanking paddle.
Look how official.
It's sort of cricket bat shaped.
That's some kind of like weird, what do you call it that you have? And then
It's a sorority
other
paddle.
Yeah. Sorority spanking paddle or whatever.
To my little sis Mindy 01, love your big sis Lara 2000. I got this because they spanked me with it.
Oh, nice.
Both of them. It's a happy reminder.
I'm not at all surprised.
What was I doing in 2002?
Being spanked by Mindy and Lara.
Yeah.
It sounds of it, yeah.
Unabashedly so. I was years away from marriage, so it was okay.
And how much did you pay for that?
A couple welts on my ass. And a little rug burn on my knees. And
that's probably why you're suffering now. Probably you knew the damage you were doing to your knees back in them days.
Huh?
So that's, yeah, don't worry about it.
I used to be fun. Long ago, far away. So I got out some sporting things. Like I said, it took me a minute to move around, but
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. What is that?
Oh, let me put it back in normal size. There we go. Brown.
LC Braun.
Yeah, baby.
LC Braun.
Braun or Brown?
Birmingham, 1902.
Right.
120 years ago, he was the talk of England.
Was he a cricketer?
I don't know. Was he?
I don't know him.
Can you see him holding a cricket bat and standing by the wickets?
Well, he was playing cricket there, but was he a cricketer? Was the question?
Yeah, he was the premier cricketer right then from England.
LC Brown, did you say his name was?
Braun.
What,
Braun.
Braun.
LC Braun. Can't see anything under that with a search. Let me have a look. Oh, cricketer. Is it Braun? So it's got a D on the end, doesn't it? Braun.
I can't make it out, but I looked it up before.
There's a Leonard Charles Braund, Brand. He played for Surrey, Somerset, in England.
That'll be him.
Yeah.
So, born 1875.
Yeah, that's the one.
Died in 1955. Oh,
well. Right. He had a good innings. He lived to be 80.
Yeah. Hey. He died before I was even born. When he was born, I think.
How about a piece of bowling memorabilia?
What's that?
It's a bowling pin from 1882.
Okay. They were smaller then.
Yeah, they were cutaways. These came in tobacco pouches for cutaways, and this was kids' toys. This is how cigarette cards started.
Okay.
So now they moved on to this. Now these will be familiar to you. Player cigarettes.
Yeah. Who's that?
L.S. Darling, cricketers 1934. He was from Victoria,
Australia.
J.C. White, Somerset in England.
Yeah. Nice. Like those.
Did you actually buy them in America?
Nope. F.R. Santal, Warwickshire. I think this whole set's the 1934s. H. Larwood.
Harold Larwood. Now that is a collectible item. Harold Larwood. He was the
Knots in England.
He's the Bodyline series.
Oh, is that actually the whole thing from the Bodyline series, maybe?
Yeah, Harold Larwood. Yeah.
J.H.A. Holme from Middlesex.
Larwood is the valuable one there, Kyle.
W.R. Hammond from Gloucestershire in England.
Look at that haircut.
Oh, yeah. A.H. Dyson from Glamorgan.
They're great, aren't they? I mean, they're not expensive. You can pick these up, but they're. I love the sort of. They're so expressive. The paintings are excellent, aren't they?
E.W. Clark. And J. Arnold from Hampshire. That's a few of those. Just random pickups. So I'm going to put Larwood on top.
Yeah, Harold Larwood. He's quite famous.
All right. Now we're rolling to other things because I was just up there grabbing stuff. So, American professional basketball started in 1948. It started well before, but the pros started in 1948. Here's 4 of the first 5 basketball cards. One
Wow.
more from the set. I need one more for the whole set there.
Bet those are worth a fair amount, Kyle, because those American cards go for a fortune.
Yeah, those aren't cheap, that's for sure. Let's see. American football. Here's a 1905 when they were starting to get away from rugby. And then here's a kid. This is at least 1902, previous to 1902. Between the shoes, the ball, and the goalpost being that width.
Well, looks like a rugby match.
That quite literally, it's becoming football from rugby. Here's a baseball card from 1896. Here's the oldest basketball postcard or cabinet card I've ever seen in existence. That guy was taught basketball by the guy that created basketball, and he created basketball in Indiana, and he created basketball for Purdue University. And this is back when it was played in YMCA's with a peach basket. And he's holding the ball like that because it has threads like a football, so you couldn't actually dribble it. You had to pass it. So, and then here's a baseball card set from 1888.
Those are nice.
Just
I like
barely
those.
set.
They're fun.
And wire cards called trading cards?
Because people trade them.
I'm guessing.
Nope.
Well,
Because they started out as trade advertisements.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
That's where trading cards come from, is their cards, but they were trade cards. So people would advertise on them.
There you go. I've learned something today. I just thought they were
Powders,
trading
boots,
cards.
and shoes.
Because people traded them.
Cigars and tobacco. No. Long before they were used to be traded, they were trade cards. Fulton Brothers. And Dennis and Dewey.
Dennis and Dewey.
But that's this is where all sports cards started, were trade cards. So right around this time they actually started putting them in tobacco products. And, yeah. Some of my rarities that I thought I was gonna share with Bill a little bit, but like I said, I'm dragging ass real bad today, could barely move. I only had to open 2 drawers, walk upstairs, open 2 drawers, pull them out, come downstairs. It took me 10 minutes. So, no comic books, but we talk sports. And I'm not a fool when it comes to cricket. I used to watch cricket addictively, but
Well, the
and I
Cricket
think
World
you
Cup's
got
on at the moment, Kyle.
and
Very
turned over
exciting. We've had some real
heyday.
shockers. Afghanistan beat England. Last night, Holland beat South Africa.
Blimey.
And there was another shock one as well. Can't remember what it was. Somebody beat New Zealand. Anyway, so it's a bit of shake-up going on.
Yeah.
There's going to be accusations of match fixing. You watch.
I've been trying to keep up on the rugby, but the last one I saw was the All Blacks beating Ireland.
Yeah, there were some good matches there, Kyle. The big match was France versus South Africa. So it was basically the host nation versus the holders. And it was a fantastic match. And the South Africa won by 1 point, 29-28. Absolute cracker.
So are they going? There's no newer matches since those, right?
No. So the semi-finals are England versus South Africa. South Africa will win, and New Zealand, Argentina. Yeah. And New Zealand will win that. It'll be New Zealand, South Africa final.
Argentina have come along well in rugby to come into the semi-final.
They've done really well. Yeah. And Fiji played phenomenally well considering where they've come from. I mean, they gave England a good run for the money and they got through to the quarters.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's talk comic books.
So I'm looking for. I've just my latest stack reorder is now on its way, Kyle. So when it arrives, I will get my copy of the first edition of the Brownies, which I will show to you.
I am just gonna throw up. If you landed that, I am just gonna throw up, and I'm gonna be so happy.
So I'm looking forward to that.
That's only the third copy I've ever heard of. In over 25 years of looking, that's only the third copy I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a first comic because the first one with a comic strip is not until about 15 years later or something, but it is the first appearance of the Brownies.
Yeah, it's in their form, but I mean, it's the birth of comics.
Yeah.
Like when you have the Punch, it's the birth of cartoons, and it's the birth of comics.
Yeah.
It's literally its adolescence. There are no comics after it without these building blocks.
Yeah.
Their historical significance cannot be understated. Historical significance of that 1841 Punch you got cannot be understated.
Yeah, my microphone's on, baby.
You know what I mean? It's yeah.
Yeah, if I get the chance next year, I'm going to put together a sort of talk on the origin of comics, which I'll probably see if I can do it. Maybe do it at a couple of UK comic cons.
Yeah, like me, Johnny, and Bill hope to get together talking about Beer Bomb because he's the world's foremost authority on the Victorian age. I mean, he's the guy that's been writing in Overstreet for 40 years.
Yeah.
You look that up, and him and some dentists, they're the guys that write it. And the guys that write the book on it have been asking the likes of me and Johnny to replace them since they're so damn old to keep the fire burning. So, we're the ones writing the book on it. There's history. I mean, it can be traced back, There's no two ways around it. You can trace cartoons back to the cave paintings of Lascaux.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty basic, but as the form gestated and got there, it didn't get there without the picto pages,
No.
which basically started it. Who bastardized who knows, but basically Punch launched it. The Brownies took it to the next level, and then it formed and it broke out of its cocoon and became comics. You know, in some ways it led to the Sunday paper foldouts and things like that, but those were too clumsy. Those, you know, too costly. They wanted to shrink them down, have better distribution on them. So, yeah, we can write a book on the birth of comics, and it can be contested because, you know, so few people were there that spoke about it and got recorded, you know, got saved for posterity, that we have to put it together like archaeologists. You know, those things exist. What's that 1832 book you got?
Oh, that's the well, my first punch is what, 1836?
Your first punch is 1841. You got an 1832 or something else.
I have, yeah. What the hell is it?
But that's basically, you know, the political satires and things like that.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I do have. Yeah. What is it? It's still not the first one. Yeah. What was it? What was it? Yeah. It's still not the first one because there is an earlier one, which is the Glasgow something or other. The Glasgow Looking Glass, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The Glasgow Looking Glass, I think, counts as the first comic. And it's extremely rare. One went up for auction in Sotheby's about 5 or 6 years ago. I can't find it. Extremely rare. The Glasgow Looking Glass. That's right. You're absolutely correct. I got the second one.
The same names that just branch off, but it's only a handful of names. You know.
Yeah.
It went from. I keep wanting to say Oppenheimer.
I know what it was. The one I got is the Dickens guy. The Dickens.
The guy that affected Cruikshank. It's
Cruikshank, George Cruikshank's almanac.
Yeah.
So George Cruikshank's almanac is the 1832 one you're talking about. And then the one before that is the Glasgow Looking Glass. It's about 5 or 6 years earlier. It's a ghost.
Yeah. And again, and I mean, the guy that did that influenced him. He influenced the guy that took the next step, but they had direct contact. You know, Palmer Cox knew George Cruikshank, you know, because it was a small clique of those guys that had a dream over a couple of decades. And, you know, Opfler was the German one. You know, there's British ones, there's German ones, there's sort of American ones, but again, American ones started out with like small images in newspapers, and then they realized, you know, well, let's do bigger wood carvings, let's put stories with them, let's slap a word balloon in here. You know, it took a while to grow, but once it did, it went.
Yeah, I mean, Cruikshank's stuff is genuinely, you can count as comics because he's got he's got speech bubbles in them.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
And what's the difference between a cartoon and a Sunday Funny and a pictograph versus a comic book? You know, it's all semantics when you get down to it, because it was being developed. You know, nothing just came out that way. One day somebody didn't just go, okay, we're going to have a comic book. They went through all kind of size formats. You know, there's little ones, there's big ones, there's linen books, there's hardback. There's collected editions of things out of
Yeah, I mean,
magazines.
George Cruikshank's almanacs are probably about this big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite small.
And then talking about almanacs, Ben Franklin started, the poor somebody's, I don't even remember. I want to say poor Williams, but poor something almanac. And, they had it in the almanacs back then. They had images and wood carvings and printings. And it wouldn't take much research to really dig it out, because here we got the Library of Congress. You've got, what is your equivalent to the Library of
British
Congress over
Library.
there? Just the British Library.
British
Why
Library.
do I know? I have items from the British Library in my collection. I have the British Library's copy of all the 1925 Funny Wonders with Charlie Chaplin in them.
Well, they'll probably want them back, Kyle. Why? How did you get them?
Nice little trade deal.
The British Library doesn't sell their copies. They get a copy of every single first edition. They get a copy of every single book published, and they've got an underground storage area beneath King's Cross Station, which is absolutely massive. Yeah.
Yep. And the 1925 bound volume, I don't know if they had a second one. They never put a hardcover around it. It's a loose leaf, 420 pages.
I'm going to send the British Library police after you, Kyle.
There you go. So, yeah. So I need to get some stuff with my name on it, Library of Congress, but I'll do that eventually. But yeah, I love having stuff like that because I can tend to it. I've shown you that, haven't I? My 1925 Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, you have.
British, yeah. That's if I ever let go of my Chaplin collection, which I only need 3 more comics, and to me it's complete. 3 more comics and it's complete. And those comics are massive. I can't even put the width of them in the screen here.
All right, I'm going to go, guys. I've got to get up very early tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, see you later, Mark. You cut out real quick. Greg, I think we can go ahead and call it a day. It went kind of quick and crazy. You can unmute and shut her down if you want, Graham. I don't even know if we had an audience today.